For more on the border crisis, we're joined by Joseph Humire. He is the executive director of the Center for a Secure, Free Society and a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Joseph, for your service.
Absolutely, Jim. Thank you for inviting me.
So one of the things that we're hearing now is that there is a dramatic increase in the number of Venezuelan caravans on the U.S.-Mexico border, or on their way to the border. Talk to us about why we're seeing this influx now from Venezuela.
That's an important point, Tom. And let me actually backtrack a little bit from what your border correspondent was saying.
Sure.
Because those major cartels that are operating on the border and trafficking massive amounts of narcotics into the United States, they have presence well beyond Mexico and are cooperating with many other regimes throughout the region. One of the most important here is Venezuela. The Jalisco New Generations cartel has a presence inside Venezuela, which is why they are getting more distribution channels to the supply chain of the cocaine coming out of Colombia. I was just on that border a few months ago, and I can tell you, when you talk about how bad borders can get, no border is worse in the Western Hemisphere than the Colombia-Venezuela border, and that's where our border is headed if we don't get a handle on this. And now to your question about specifically the migration, there's something that I think also that the American public needs to be aware of, is there's a difference between organic migration that happens because of natural disasters, socioeconomic reasons, or insecurity, and strategic engineered migration. That is a specific term used when state actors or non-state actors specifically manipulate or provoke mass migration to create different types of political objectives.
Yeah.
And Venezuela is at the heart of this. I saw this with the caravans in 2018. And I think we're seeing it today with the Haitians.
And look, you know, they're a socialist country. They don't care if the people leave. I mean, the fewer people they have, the less people they have to feed and deal with, and they've got a lot of problems down there. President Biden, to your point about Mexico, he recently met with his Mexican counterpart, but he failed really to press on the issue of the border crisis. What would be some of the immediate and long-term ratifications of the Biden administration's plan to grant conditional amnesty to most of the 11 million people living in the U.S. illegally right now?
It's a magnet. It's what they call a perverse incentive. If you incentivize bad behavior, you get more bad behavior. That's a moral hazard. Mm-hmm. And what the Biden administration is doing is incentivizing more illegal migration. So the numbers that are already at a record high, at more than 1.7 million encounters at the border, which is more than 4 times our capacity, that number is just going to go up. And what I'm really worried about is that these different migration phenomena that are happening in Central and South America, the Central Americans, the Haitians, the Venezuelans, they're starting to converge and push up north in massive caravans that no border is equipped to handle. And that's what I'm particularly concerned about, because we hadn't seen that in previous years.
Just real quick, I've just got one question left in about 20 seconds, but is the Mexican government and their military even capable at this point of trying to stop these folks, given their numbers?
If they had the political will, yes, they could. The problem is López Obrador is in bed with the Maduro regime, so no, he does not.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately. Joseph Humire, appreciate your insights on this very important issue, and we'll check back with you.
Absolutely, thank you.